Kendall actually taking the time to record a podcast episode? Shocking. Truly shocking. Hello, welcome to Candidly Kendall, my podcast. If you are only listening to the audio version, I am sitting on my brand new couch. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. All right, vocals come through. I've been waiting for this couch for so long. The first couch I bought couldn't fit through the little New York City hallway, so had to wait quite a while for this one, but it's finally here, and thank God. This couch is healing me. I think from now on, this is where I'm gonna record my podcast, so visually for my people watching, let me know if you like it, if I should move the camera closer. I don't know, let me know how you feel, but it feels like I'm just chatting with a friend this way, so I like it. So I've been in this apartment for about a month and a half now, and I love it. I really love it. Not cleaning up after other people has to be one of the greatest joys in my life. Not having to buy toilet paper and paper towels and cleaning supplies for other people. Mwah. Mwah. It gets so much less messy. Just me. And I clean it and it stays clean. Wow. That's a concept I've not heard of. It feels really good, but I'm definitely feeling a little lonely. I do notice that it's obviously much easier to isolate myself. So getting out every single day, doing my routine remains very important. And I know a lot of you have been dying for an apartment tour, which I completely understand. And now that the couch is here, I will be filming an apartment tour this week. I was sort of debating if I should wait because I still need a lot more artwork. I'm still collecting knickknacks, but that's going to be taking months, if not years, so might as well film one now and show you guys where I'm at. So stay tuned for that. I'm already getting in like the fall cozy vibes, and I'm so excited. I'm going to talk about weather for a second, which I know people hate talking about the weather. I have never understood that concept. I've always loved talking about the weather. It is something we all are experiencing. It's something we all can connect on, and it's nature. What's not to like? Here in New York, we are entering the best season, which is fall. These next few weeks, so like mid-September through mid-November, I say, is the best time in New York. The leaves are changing. You can wear the perfect layering outfit. The baked goods are top tier. Pumpkin, apple. I love this time of year. I'm originally from Massachusetts, so you know I'm a stickler for fall foliage, and seeing the leaves change is just incredibly important to me. So I am feeling really excited for this time of year, and especially in this new space. I just am feeling so inspired and happy and loving it. And speaking of this time of year, we are entering a very exciting time here in New York City. This week is New York Fashion Week. Of course, the designers are having fashion shows, and there's tons of brand pop-ups, activations, small designer showcases. There's just a lot of buzz in the city right now, so it's a really fun time to be here. Now, before I get into this next piece, let it be known that I don't necessarily think that influencers should be the number one clientele at these fashion shows. There's been a lot of criticism of the influencer industry and how they've like taken over Fashion Week, and to be honest, I agree. I don't know why a lot of creators are at these events other than for coverage on their socials. But that being said, you guys might notice this, you might not, in comparison to other creators with the same following size, same engagement styles as me. I am seldom invited to brand events. I don't get brand deals, really. I think I've gotten like 2 this entire year, which is very minimal for most creators. And New York Fashion Week in particular, it feels really in my face that I am not at the same level as my peers. As this is coming out of my mouth, I know how stupid this sounds and probably unrelatable to the majority of people, but it's still something I experience. During Fashion Week, the majority of my mutuals are at events, multiple events a day, and I'm just sitting watching it through a screen. So I can't help but feel left out. Creators are invited to these events because brands deem them as influential. So to not have my content or platform or presence be validated in that way feels a little bit painful. And at the end of the day, of course, that doesn't matter. I love creating content no matter what. I love the community I've built. I love you guys. That's what's important to me. But in that same breath, I think it would be nice to get a little bit of validation from brands, and not only in terms of the events, but even financially. It's hard to not get many brand deals. It really just picks at this wound of feeling inadequate or like I'm not enough, which I know is silly. I'm saying all this knowing that comparison is the thief of joy. It always has, but this week in particular is always hard for me to stay in my own lane a little bit. I think I just relatively need to stay off my phone and appreciate the fashion and the art as objectively as I can. Those feelings do be stirring up. Dating update. The update you've all been waiting for. Let's talk about my dating life. I've had some trials and tribulations recently that I'm going to share with you. So I went on a few dates with a gentleman, and I'm gonna tell you about it. A few weeks ago, I met this guy at my friend's party, and I wasn't even thinking of him romantically in any capacity. I was just enjoying my time at the party. But towards the end of the evening, the entire group went to a bar, and I did notice we had some chemistry. He ended up following up with me the next day, saying he thought I was really cute. He really enjoyed chatting with me and would love to take me on a date. So we ended up going on a date that week. It was a fantastic first date. It was one of the better first dates I've been on, especially in a long time. He made me feel totally comfortable. I felt like I was completely being myself. I thought we had a really good flow between each other. Lots of giggles. It was a great first date. You could tell we were aligned on many a thing, and he was cute. So that is a plus. During that date, he was reassuring me so much about what a great time he was having and that he wanted to do it again and see me again. And I was like, me too, I'm having a fantastic time. So the next week we go on a second date, which again was a good date. I had a lot of fun. We went and played pool at a bar. I did sense the energy had shifted slightly, but wasn't overthinking it too much. That's to be expected as you spend more time with someone, is the energy won't always be tip top, but you know when you can just tell that something has switched, you can just sense that energy, like the dynamic changes. My intuition was certainly picking up on it, and so every alarm bell was going off in my head, but I tried to suppress it and just keep on keeping on. Perhaps it was my ADHD autism speaking, but I'm just super hyper aware of other people's moods, so it's pretty easy for me to pick up the shift. Anyway, after that second date, I got home, let him know I made it home, and thanked him for the drinks and let him know I had a fun time. And he texted back the next morning saying, of course, I had a great time too. Or like, I had a great time, blah, blah, as well. And I've never heard from him again. Oh, man. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. A day, 2 days would go by, 3 days would go by, and I never heard from him. And then a week finally went by, and I'm like, okay, safe to say, case is closed. This isn't happening. We're not going on a third date or continuing this connection. Why am I so like squeamish talking about dating? It's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable and vulnerable. That's why. After having this interaction, I have felt like such a fool. I felt like a fool for allowing myself to be hopeful, to be excited. This has happened to me many, many times before. We have a great couple of dates and poof, it's just over. And he didn't love bomb me by any means. I know that's like a pretty big red flag that I notice right off the bat. If someone is over the top complimentary and really intense immediately, I know to not fall for that. Like that's a pretty big red flag. But he seemed so sweet and so sincere. I felt like he really understood and respected my personality and was very complimentary of me, which was of course a really nice, good feeling. And of course, we have no context to his perspective or what's going on in his life for reasons this couldn't continue. But as I have this similar type of experience over and over and over again, I just don't know how I can trust a connection in dating. I know this is all sounding very dramatic, and I obviously didn't know him that long, and it's not that serious. I'm already over it. But I mean, I also don't want to minimize my experience. Like there was a form of a relationship there. Not relationship, like romantic. I mean, like there was a experience we shared there together. I don't know. I'm just like, am I so misreading the situations, or am I so easily misled or unable to see the truth of a situation? I'm an incredibly sincere person, so when I compliment someone or I admire someone, I mean it. I don't say things just to win over someone else's affection. If I see something positive, something light, I verbalize it. So when these moments happen, it feels like the other counterpart isn't living up to that same standard that I set for myself, and it just sucks. It's a shitty feeling. This is a tale as old as time. It's happened to me countless times before. It's happened to women everywhere throughout history, forever, but I just can't resist the feeling of feeling like an idiot. Like, how can I not see it? How do I end up trusting people? I think that's just a reflection of who I am as a person. I remain open to love and connection despite feeling misled. When I was talking about this with my friends, they had a really helpful reframe for me, because of course you're looking inward to put the blame on yourself, because that's something that you can control. That's somewhere where you can find a reason of what you've done wrong, but really it's on the other person. So my friends are like, ew, gross behavior, ew, we don't like people who treat us like that. Like, you sort of got to put it back on them. I think this one feels a little bit extra painful because I thought that this could be different. You know, I met this person in real life, which never happens, through a friend of a friend. So that's somewhat like someone who is vouched for. Like, I know they're a decent person because they're my friend's friend. And I've been really working hard this summer to be the best version of myself, the most content version of myself, the most authentic version of myself. You know, I feel like I really let myself shine, and I felt I did so through these dates. So to still face rejection despite it all, I mean, that's life, but it hurts, brother, it hurts. If you've been keeping up with me, you know that I deleted the dating apps back in January because I was just so frustrated, and I've been loving my time off of them. I love not chasing love. I sort of declared to myself that if someone wants to pursue me, that they will. And it's taken a lot of the pressure off of me for feeling the need to be in a relationship when I'm truly content on my own. I'm so content with my friendships, with my family, with my life. I live a beautiful life, and the only way I'd accept another person into my life is if they add to it. So to even give someone the opportunity, and then, I don't know, of course some things don't work out. It just sucks. The last thing that I want to note about this, which again is a tale as old as time, I feel like a lot of people, but men specifically, lust after me. They want the opportunity to hook up with me. Maybe they really try and gas me up or compliment me in the hopes of hooking up, and when that doesn't happen, they give up, which, as any woman will tell you, it's a pretty horrible feeling to feel like you're just a body and not really a person. And thankfully, I've grown enough in my self-love journey to know how to set those boundaries and withhold that until I really trust a person. But it just is ick, you know? So my takeaway from my recent dating adventures, like the iconic 2009 film, he's just not that into you. He's just not that into me, and that's totally fine. Not everyone will, and there's still plenty of people in this world who I can have connections with. Since this has happened to me so many times, I can't help but notice a trend around date 3, date 4, possibly as when it could start being interpreted as a little more serious. I noticed that men just go ghost. They don't continue. They know what those next few interactions lead to, which is a discussion of, so what are we doing? Like, are you looking for something serious? That kind of thing. So maybe in this instance, this was simply that. I don't know. I'll probably never know. And that's totally fine, because it's a blessing to be in my presence and get that kind of attention from me. I just wanted a cute little fall crush. Sue me. Done with the updates, done with the life updates. I think you guys get the picture of what's going on in my life. So why am I not talking about my weight loss? It has become apparent to literally everyone that I've lost quite a bit of weight these past few months. And the internet has felt some kind of way about it. The amount of unsolicited comments I've been getting about my body in the past month man. Woo-wee, zoo-wee mama. Actual insanity in both complimentary and critical ways. I'm gonna be so honest with you guys. It feels really horrible to have your body be scrutinized anytime you post a video to the internet. It feels like my body is literally under a microscope. Microscope? Hello? That's a really horrible feeling. If you're not gonna say this to someone in real life, maybe don't leave it in a comment on their video. As someone who's really been in the pursuit of healing my relationship with my body over these past few years, but really specifically these past few months, and learning what feels good for my body, finding fitness that feels good to me. To have my body analyzed up, down, and center on the internet is tough. I think sometimes people forget that I am a literal person. I am a human, and I see your comments. I see what you're having to say about me, and it deeply affects me. There is another person on the other end of the screen where you're typing your comment to, reading it, and she is me, and she is a sensitive girl. In some capacity, I've been desensitized to comments about my body because I've been receiving them for so long. But damn, they remain painful. And let me note that I understand where a lot of this hurt is coming from in terms of people being upset that I've lost weight. If you followed me earlier, you might be familiar. I used to make a lot of mid-sized content when I was in a larger body. It made me feel empowered. It made me feel confident. I found community with other mid-sized people, and I loved my body. And I still love my body. Nothing has changed. So many creators have been taking GLP-1s. Tons of people have been going through these weight loss transformations. And even if mine was completely healthy, had nothing to do with that, was not fear-based, it's still painful to see a creator who you've looked to for inspiration or admiration and see that change within them. I completely get it. And in some capacity, it makes me wish that I never made content about my body at all. And it makes me sad that I feel that way because, like I said, that content made me feel so confident and so empowered, and I know it helps so many people, but perhaps it set a standard that I would look the same, or people could come to me for that same exact body size content endlessly, which of course, we're human. All of our weights fluctuate all the time. I know mine has, up and down and all around, and it will continue to for the rest of my life. I think it really put into perspective how much people follow me more so for what I look like versus my personality or, my heart. And of course, I've been receiving so much love and positivity from the majority of you saying that you're here for me, but I didn't realize quite the amount of people who were so attached to what my body looked like. Which is such a weird thing to say, and even weirder to experience. A lot of people have been wanting me to address this weight loss, to talk about it, and weight is something that I've talked about before, but this is why I don't feel comfortable talking about weight loss right now. I made a short video about this on TikTok, so maybe you've seen it already, but I want to expand in longer form. With the rise and use of GLP-1s, alt-right assholes, and skinny talk taking over, fat phobia is at an all-time high. I see it everywhere. I see it on my feed. I see it in comment sections. I see it in real life. It's disgusting. It's foul. I could never fathom being so hateful towards a group of people just based on what they look like. And maybe I can have that empathetic perspective because I've been fat and I understand. And I also have empathy. Who knew? For me to make any type of weight loss content right now, despite my journey being completely healthy, not fear-based, not hate of my body based, to contribute any more weight loss to that conversation that is already so loud, I fear could be harmful for a lot of people. I personally am not on that side of the internet. I don't engage with any fat phobic videos or any pro eating disorder videos, but it would be irresponsible for me as a creator with a following to act like that's not happening, because it most certainly is. And a lot of people are consuming that content. So I just think it wouldn't be right for me to address it in this moment in time. And if I find ways moving forward to discuss it in a constructive way or ways that I think would be helpful, I will, but I'm gonna give it some time. I've had a major lifestyle change this summer where I have a consistent fitness routine, and it's made me so much stronger, so much healthier, and I've been personally loving it, and it has changed my body, and it wouldn't be fair to not acknowledge that. I also want to note that it may be more visually drastic to my followers and my viewers because I was living in a very toxic roommate situation previously. So now that I've moved into my new apartment, I feel comfortable filming again. I feel comfortable making content. So It might seem like a stark difference to you, but I promise it's been gradual. I've been getting a handful of comments of people claiming that I've been on GLP-1s, which has deeply offended me. And I sort of want to critically analyze why I have felt offended by that, because I don't judge anyone for using a GLP-1, or I don't think I place any stigma around that. But I think what that comes down to is it sort of negates the physical work and effort I've put into my fitness routine. It's taken a lot of time and energy and effort, determination, and consistency to get where I am. So to suggest that I've had medication help sort of hurts my feelings a little bit. The GLP-1 conversation is sort of tough in my perspective. Like, to see that Serena Williams had a GLP-1 ad, a literal Olympian athlete, an incredibly fit woman, was still in pursuit of weight loss. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. All I want is a healthy body that can move and take me into a long life. Coming off of that conversation, I want to share a few reasons that I like to move my body that have nothing to do with appearance. Number one has to be functional fitness. Since I've been doing more strength training and continuing to work on my flexibility and balance in yoga, literally every other physical aspect in my life has improved. Standing up off the couch is easier. Picking up a box is easier. And of course, those are generally small things in life, but they really compound. Being physically stronger allows me to have an ease through life, which I've never had before, and I so greatly love. It's pretty amazing what our bodies can do, and really makes me appreciate being in a young, fit body. Reason number two of why I love to move my body that doesn't have to do with my appearance. Depression hates a moving target. Hate to say it. Bed rotting isn't helping, babe. Bed rotting is not helping. Before, it was hard for me to even go on a walk in a day. Now, if I don't move my body, I feel the demons creeping in my brain. I don't get a good night's rest. I am overthinking everything. My anxiety is through the roof. My depression is maxed out. Moving your body helps so much. I don't necessarily know the science of it, but it very much ties into my next point, which is you just sort of enter a flow state as you're moving your body. You're flowing. Your body's moving. My thoughts come through clearer. My thoughts come through easier. I'm able to process my emotions. And this is specifically related to walking. If I haven't put you onto walks yet, bitch, get into it. My walkies are my favorite part of my day. I see the nature. I see the people. I move my body. I process emotions. I meditate. It is the best. It is quite literally the best. You can get yourself a little treat. You can scroll on TikTok. It's the best. And number 4 of why I love to move my body that doesn't have to do with appearance is longevity. Now, this isn't something that I am seeing right now, but it is something that I hope I'm building for my future. As I'm strength training, I'm increasing my bone density, which is important as we get older. Our bones get brittle and are more likely to break. So I'm hopefully creating lifetime habits that will serve me if I'm lucky enough to become an old person. I love life. I love living. I want to live as long as possible and in a healthy a body as I can possibly maintain. So this is something that's important to me and something that I am prioritizing moving forward. So now for songs of the week. Fall not only is the best season, it's the best season for music as well. I just love listening to music in the fall. I'm sort of all over the board right now, but some of my faves I've been loving, like a fall ambiance TV moment on YouTube. It's a game changer for focusing. Like, instead of having a TV show on in the background, I just have some light jazz with some falling leaves on the TV screen. It's very peaceful, helps me focus. I'm always here for a folky fall, but this one we're going a little bit older, so I've been loving Joan Baez, Silver Dagger, Bob Dylan, of course, Tim Buckley. I have a playlist on Spotify that I'll link below. Fall also reminds me of like going to middle school, going to high school, riding the school bus, and being the most angsty teen ever. So I have a playlist called Back to school angst. So think Sonic Youth, The Front Bottoms, Pixies, just sort of like angry, teeny music. I don't know how to describe it, but I'll link that as well. I recently saw the movie Caught Stealing with Austin Butler, and the band Idols had a lot to do with the soundtrack and made some songs for it. So Doom and Rabbit Run, bangers. That's everything from me, folks. Thank you so much for watching, listening. If you've made it this far, rate me 5 stars, like, comment, y'all know what to do, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.